Imagine stepping off a train in Paris, walking past empty customs booths, boarding a bus to Germany, driving straight through into Austria, and finally landing in Italy without showing your passport even once. Across 4,000 kilometers in 4 distinct nation-states, there is not a single border guard, no armed checkpoint, and no long queue under hot customs lamps. To any traveler from the 20th century, this would look like pure science fiction. Yet today, 29 European countries share a single external perimeter, operating as if they were a single vast realm of over 400 million citizens. How did centuries-old rivalries, deep national sovereignty, and thousands of miles of fortified, heavily defended borders simply dissolve into thin air? The answer lies in a modest passenger ship floating on a quiet river in 1985, where 5 nation leaders signed a treaty that radically altered global geopolitics, trade, and travel forever. Welcome to the story of the Schengen Zone. To understand how extraordinary this open border system really is, we have to look back at the continent of Europe before the mid-1980s. For centuries, Europe was defined by rigid borders, armed fortifications, and intense national rivalries. Following the devastation of World War II, Western Europe began a slow process of economic integration. The creation of the European Economic Community in 1957 aimed to bind coal, steel, and trade together to ensure peace. However, physical borders remained a massive bottleneck. Truck drivers hauling goods across Europe wasted hundreds of thousands of hours every year waiting at border crossings like the Franco-German checkpoint at Saarbrücken or the Dutch-German border near Venlo. Drivers had to fill out mountains of paperwork, undergo physical cargo inspections, and wait for passport verification at every single national frontier. By 1984, frustration reached a boiling point. French truck drivers staged massive blockades along major transport routes, throwing European logistics into chaos and demanding a fix. Political leaders realized that true economic integration was impossible if people and commercial transport could not move freely across internal boundaries. France and Germany took the initial lead in June 1984 by agreeing to streamline their shared border checks at the Saarbrücken Agreement. But streamlining was not enough. A coalition of forward-thinking nations wanted to abolish internal border controls altogether. On June 14, 1985, a small group of senior diplomats and politicians boarded a passenger vessel named the Princess Marie Astrid. The boat was anchored in the middle of the Moselle River, right where the borders of Luxembourg, France, and West Germany meet. They chose this precise aquatic intersection, adjacent to the tiny winemaking village of Schengen, Luxembourg, because no single country owned the water beneath them. It was a symbolic neutral ground for a historic leap of faith. On board that day, representatives from 5 countries, France, West Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, signed the initial Schengen Agreement. The document laid out a bold vision, to gradually abolish checkpoints at internal borders and establish a unified external border. However, writing a treaty on a boat was far easier than putting it into practice. It took another 5 years of tense negotiations to produce the Schengen Convention of 1990, which detailed the exact legal and security framework required to safely open the gates. National police forces had to coordinate, intelligence agencies needed to share databases, and immigration policies had to be standardized. Finally, on March 26, 1995, the agreement officially took effect. Border posts were dismantled between 7 founding nations: France, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Spain, and Portugal. Millions of people suddenly experienced borderless travel for the first time in modern history. Over the next 3 decades, the zone expanded exponentially. Italy signed on, followed by Austria, Greece, and the Nordic countries. Even non-European Union states like Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein recognized the massive economic benefits and joined the system. In January 2023, Croatia officially entered the zone, followed by Bulgaria and Romania partially joining for air and maritime borders in March 2024. Today, 29 European nations comprise the Schengen area, encompassing over 4 million square kilometers and serving over 400 million residents alongside tens of millions of international tourists every year. So how does 29 sovereign nations operating as one single territory actually work without breaking down into chaos? The secret to Schengen lies in strict external border controls backed by immense technological infrastructure. The backbone of the entire operation is the Schengen Information System, or SIS. Created in 1995 and continuously upgraded, the current SES second-generation database allows police, border guards, and immigration authorities across all member states to instantly query stolen passports, missing persons, wanted criminals, and individuals banned from entering the territory. When an applicant applies for a standard short-stay Schengen visa, their application is processed through standardized criteria. A single short-stay visa issued by France grants the holder 90 days of travel anywhere within all 29 member states during a 180-day period. However, this radical open-door policy inside the zone creates serious vulnerabilities at the perimeter. If one country fails to properly secure its external coastline or land border, every other country in the zone absorbs the risk. This delicate balance has been repeatedly tested by real-world crises. During the 2015 European migrant crisis, over 1 million refugees and migrants crossed into southern and eastern Europe, overwhelming local processing capacities. In response, several member states, including Germany, Austria, Denmark, and Sweden, invoked emergency provisions under Article 25 of the Schengen Borders Code to temporarily reintroduce internal border controls. Similar temporary checks were enforced during the peak of the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic and following major terrorist incidents in Paris and Brussels. Critics argue these temporary checks threaten to unravel the core promise of Schengen, while supporters maintain that flexibility is the only reason the system survives national security threats. Today, the Schengen Zone stands as one of the most ambitious geopolitical experiments in human history, yielding extraordinary economic and social dividends. Studies estimate that borderless travel saves European businesses and logistics companies billions of euros every single year by eliminating transport delays and administrative friction. Millions of border commuters cross international boundaries daily to work in neighboring countries without second thoughts. Yet the system remains in a constant state of evolution. To address growing security challenges and manage high visitor volumes, the European Union is launching new digital safeguards. The European Travel Information and Authorization System, known as ETIAS, will soon require visa-exempt visitors from over 60 countries to complete an online pre-screening before traveling. Additionally, the new entry-exit system will digitize passport stamps, automatically tracking the entry and exit of third-country nationals to prevent overstays. Full borderless integration for Romania and Bulgaria's land borders remains on the horizon as political negotiations continue in Brussels. Far from being a static agreement, Schengen is a living apparatus that balances open human mobility against national security demands. The transformation of 29 distinct nations into a single borderless expanse shows what is possible when cooperation replaces division. Would you like to see more international regions adopt a similar open border policy, or do you think national border security should always come first? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more global history and geopolitical breakdowns.